I'm 73 years old. If you look at my face, you'll see the years sitting quietly there. The lines around my eyes, the tired corners of my mouth, the way my shoulders sit a little lower than they used to. Those things didn't happen overnight. Life carved them there slowly, patiently, like water carving stone. And today, I'm standing here as a divorced man. Strange word, isn't it? Divorced. At 73, you'd think a man has everything figured out. You'd think the story would already be written and bound neatly with a ribbon. But life has a strange sense of humor, because the truth is, it took me 52 years of marriage to understand something I wish someone had told me when I was 21 years old. Marriage will make you uncomfortable. Not sometimes, not occasionally, constantly. And if you're not ready for that, you will spend decades confused about why the life you built doesn't feel the way you imagined it would. When I got married, I believed the same fairy tale most people believe. You meet someone, you fall in love, you build a life, and somehow everything becomes easier. But nobody told me the real truth. Marriage doesn't make life easier. Marriage magnifies everything you are. Your patience, your selfishness, your fears, your insecurities, your childhood wounds, all of it. When I met my wife, I was 21 years old. I had thick hair, big dreams, and absolutely no idea who I really was. I thought I did. Most young men do. I thought being a good husband meant providing, working hard, paying bills, fixing things around the house. I believed love was something stable, something calm. What I didn't understand was that love is friction. Love is two imperfect people bumping into each other for decades. The first few years were easy. They always are. Everything feels exciting. Every conversation feels meaningful. Every little habit seems charming. She used to laugh when I left socks on the floor. I used to think her endless questions about my day were sweet. We thought we knew each other, but we didn't, because you don't really know someone until life begins to squeeze you both. Children came, bills came, stress came, long work hours came, sleep disappeared, dreams shifted, and suddenly the person sitting across from you at the dinner table isn't just the person you fell in love with. They're a mirror that reflects parts of you that you never wanted to see. I remember the first real argument we had, not the playful kind, the kind where silence fills the house afterward. I had worked 12 hours that day. I came home exhausted, and she asked me to fix something in the kitchen. I snapped. I told her I worked all day and that she should handle small things herself. The words came out sharper than I meant them to. Her face changed in a way I'll never forget. It wasn't anger. It was disappointment. And that's when I learned the first uncomfortable truth about marriage. The person you love the most will also be the person you hurt the most. Not because you want to, but because they're the closest. Years passed. We built a life together. A house, children, shared routines, holiday traditions. From the outside, we looked like a successful marriage, and in many ways we were. But here's the part nobody talks about. You can build a life with someone and still slowly drift away from them. Not dramatically, not with betrayal or shouting, but quietly, like two boats tied to the same dock, but slowly facing different directions. Work consumed me. Responsibility consumed her. We talked about schedules, bills, kids, groceries, but we stopped talking about ourselves. And when that happens long enough, you begin living beside each other instead of with each other. I didn't notice it at first. Most men don't. We think silence means peace, but silence can also mean distance. There were moments, though, when reality knocked on the door. Late at night, when the house was quiet, I'd sit in the living room and feel something I couldn't explain. Not sadness exactly, not regret, just a strange feeling that time was moving faster than I expected. Years turned into decades. Children grew up, they moved out. The house became quieter, and suddenly, it was just the two of us again. That's when the truth became impossible to ignore. When the distractions disappear, what remains is the relationship itself. And ours had grown tired, not broken, just worn, like a pair of shoes that carried you through a long journey. Still functional, but no longer comfortable. We tried. I want you to understand that. We talked, we revisited old memories. We tried to rediscover the people we once were. But time changes people. 50 years of life changes people. And sometimes love evolves into something else. Respect, gratitude, history, but not the same kind of closeness. The divorce wasn't explosive. There were no screaming matches, no courtroom drama, just two elderly people sitting at a kitchen table, acknowledging something neither of us wanted to say out loud. We had grown into different versions of ourselves, and staying together out of habit would have been dishonest. Signing those papers was one of the strangest moments of my life, not because I hated her, but because I didn't. I still care about her deeply. She was my partner for more than half a century. She knows stories about me that no one else knows. She remembers the young man I once was. But caring about someone and being able to continue the journey together are two different things. And that realization is uncomfortable. That's the word I want you to remember. Uncomfortable. Marriage will force you to confront discomfort again and again. It will challenge your pride, your ego, your expectations. It will show you how selfish you can be, how impatient, how stubborn. But it will also show you how capable you are of growth, of forgiveness, of understanding. The biggest mistake people make is thinking marriage should always feel comfortable. It shouldn't. Comfort is where growth stops. The uncomfortable conversations are the ones that save relationships. The uncomfortable truths are the ones that prevent resentment from growing quietly in the dark. If I could go back and talk to my 21-year-old self, I wouldn't warn him about heartbreak. I would warn him about silence. I would tell him to speak more honestly, to listen more carefully, to ask deeper questions. Because love isn't maintained through grand gestures. It's maintained through small daily honesty. I would tell him that pride is the most dangerous thing in a marriage. Pride makes apologies difficult. Pride makes listening impossible. Pride turns minor misunderstandings into permanent walls. I carried pride for too many years. Many men do. We believe strength means being right, but real strength is being willing to say, I was wrong. Marriage will test that lesson over and over. Another thing I learned too late is that time is ruthless. You always believe there will be another conversation, another chance to reconnect, another year to fix what's drifting apart. But years disappear faster than you realize. One day you're young and arguing about whose turn it is to wash dishes, and the next day you're elderly, sitting in a quiet house wondering where the decades went. People think divorce at 73 must feel like failure. But the truth is more complicated. Our marriage wasn't a failure. It was a long chapter, a meaningful one. We raised good children. We survived hardships. We supported each other through illnesses and losses. Those things matter. But acknowledging that a chapter has ended doesn't erase its value. It simply means life continues to evolve. What I want younger people to understand is this: marriage is not a destination. It's an ongoing negotiation between two constantly changing people. If you expect the person you married to stay exactly the same forever, you will be disappointed. If you expect yourself to stay the same, you will also be disappointed. Growth changes people, and relationships must grow with them. The couples who last are not the ones who avoid discomfort. They are the ones who walk directly into it together. They ask difficult questions. They face uncomfortable truths. They adjust. They adapt. They forgive repeatedly. Looking back, the most beautiful moments of my marriage were not the easy ones. They were the difficult seasons we survived together. The illnesses, the financial struggles, the moments when life knocked us down and we had to rebuild. Those experiences created a bond deeper than romance. But bonds require maintenance. You can't assume love will take care of itself. Love is more like a garden. Ignore it long enough and weeds take over. And sometimes those weeds grow so quietly you don't notice until the garden looks completely different. Now at 73, I live alone in a smaller house. The silence is different, sometimes peaceful, sometimes heavy. I make my own coffee in the morning. I cook simple meals. I sit on the porch and watch the sun go down. And I think about the young man I once was, the mistakes I made, the lessons that took decades to learn. And if someone younger asked me for advice, I wouldn't tell them to avoid marriage. Marriage can be one of the most meaningful experiences a human being can have, but only if you enter it with honesty. Understand that love will challenge you. Understand that your partner will expose parts of you that need growth. Understand that discomfort is not a sign something is wrong. Often, it's a sign something important is happening. Don't waste years avoiding the conversations that scare you. Don't let pride replace vulnerability. Don't assume love will maintain itself without effort. And most importantly, remember that the person sitting across from you is not your opponent. They are your teammate. If you forget that, the relationship slowly turns into a quiet competition. Who sacrifices more? Who works harder? Who deserves appreciation? But love is not a competition, it's cooperation. At 73, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I know this. The years move faster than you expect. The people in your life are more fragile than you realize. And the uncomfortable truths you avoid today will eventually demand your attention tomorrow. So speak honestly, listen carefully, forgive quickly, and never assume you have unlimited time to fix what matters most. Because one day you might find yourself sitting where I am now, looking back over 5 decades of memories, realizing that the greatest lessons in life often take the longest time to understand, and wishing you had learned them just a little sooner.